Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about how to set your fitness goals for the rest of the year. Now, if you're watching this video, you're more than likely trying to set some goals, and you're more than likely trying to achieve those goals and get the results you've always wanted. So how do we do it? It is really simple and really effective to set goals, whatever we do in life, whether it's fitness, business, anything in life. If you don't have goals, you can't get anything achieved, and you don't know if you're progressing or regressing or achieving goals or failing goals. And the main thing is you have to realize that you may fail and you may not succeed. However, if you've got those plans in place, 9 times out of 10 you will be successful. Alright, so you want to set goals. How do we do it? It is so simple and so effective, but a lot of people don't do it because we don't know how to do it, or you don't know how to do it. So this video is exactly for those people. If you know how to set goals, still watch, you may pick up some tips and tricks. So the best thing I can say is when you're thinking about goals, you need to make them specific. Okay, so when I say specific, I mean if you want to lose weight, how much weight do you want to lose? If you want to gain weight, how much weight do you want to gain? If you want to run a marathon, what time do you want to run a marathon? If you want to increase your bench press, or you want to increase your squat, how much do we want to increase it by? So being specific is the number one kind of rule of when we're setting goals. The second one is being measurable. So how do we measure the success of the goal? Whether that's, you know, you want to increase weight, so we want to increase it by 5 kilos of muscle mass. If we want to lose weight, we want to lose 5 kilos of fat mass. Make it achievable. Okay, so make your goals achievable as possible, so don't make them too big. A lot of the time, the downfall of a lot of people when they set goals is making them too big and too kind of overwhelming when you're starting off. So when you're first starting off on a weight loss journey, when you're first starting off of anything in life, when it's fitness related, work related, anything, you want to make it kind of as small and as measurable and achievable as possible, because the success in your head and that ticking off of those goals is going to build you up and give you that confidence and that ability to go forward and set even bigger and better goals every single time. Okay, so you've made them specific, you've made them measurable, you've made them achievable, you need to make them relatable. Okay, so being relatable, or being making your goals relatable, if that makes sense, is making them specific to you and relatable to you. Okay, so let's say my friend wants to lose 20 kilos, but she or he weighs 100 kilos more than me, or 50 kilos more than me. If I want to lose 50 kilos, it's not relatable for me, and it's not my kind of specific goal. So I can't set that goal for myself just because someone else is. So you need to make it relatable to you, and you need to make it so that it's completely your own goal, and don't just go off and copy anyone else's, because 9 times out of 10 you won't be successful. Okay, so you've made it specific, measurable, achievable, relatable. You need to make it time specific. Okay, so this is probably the number 2 of my most important things that I go through with clients, and anyone that asks me about setting goals. Make sure they're specific is number 1, and make sure they're time effective is number 2, because the other kind of areas we can hit and miss with other things as well. So making them time specific is very important. Why? Because if you set a time frame, you're more likely to stick to it than if you say, okay, I want to lose 20 kilos over you know, whenever I can. Because let's say if we say you want to lose 20 kilos in 6 months, from, you know, July 1st to X 1st, then you're more likely to really work hard in those periods of times, and more likely to achieve those goals, because you've got a start and finish date. The reason behind that is that for some reason in our mental state, we love achieving things in time frames, and we love getting that satisfaction of, you know, starting at a marathon and finishing at a marathon. So walking through that again, you really want to make your goals specific, measurable, achievable, relatable, and time specific. But that's the goal setting part of things. How do we go about that? So it's easily said than done, just writing all that kind of stuff down and having it on a piece of paper. But how do we make it effective in our daily lives? Well, what I do is, once you've done that SMARTY goals, or you've set that kind of bar, when you set those guidelines with all those specific goals and everything like that, you need to make sure that you've set yourself at least 3. Okay, why 3? Because it's a good number, and it kind of sets all the foundations for everything else. So the first goal should be your macro goal, so it should be that time specific goal, and it should be the biggest one that you want to achieve. So normally this is the weight loss, or normally this is the running goal, or normally this is the one that takes the longest and takes the most focus. The second goal is something that's going to help you achieve the first one. So something like, for instance, if you want to lose weight, it's trying to eat healthy at least 3 or 4 times a day, 3 or 4 times a week, which would aid the weight loss. If it's a running goal, you want to at least run 10k a week to achieve that marathon goal. If it's a bench press goal, you need to hit upper body at least 2 times a week at certain amounts of RPE and certain amounts of weight percentages and all that kind of stuff. So the reason the first goal is there is because that's your main one. The reason the second goal is there is because that's going to help you with the first goal, and the third one is going to be weird, but it's nothing to do with the top 2. The reason is because I like setting that third goal because it's something you can tick off every single week. So normally I say to my clients, you've got the first and second goal. The third goal should be something completely irrelevant, whether it's trying to increase your sleep time, trying to increase stretching, trying to increase kind of going out and enjoying with friends or something like that. Something that's you're going to be able to tick off every single week, which gives you that intrinsic motivation to keep going regardless of how the top 2 are going. So the reason I said you want to have 3 is because if we have 4, it's kind of too many and it's too much to go overwhelming. So for some reason 3 just works. I don't know why, but with my previous experiences with goal setting and with clients and research and all that kind of stuff, 3 is a really good number. We tend to not learn more than 3 things at one time, so that kind of helps as well. But having that third one that you can tick off every single week gives you that intrinsic motivation to achieve the top 2 regardless of how they're going. So for instance, if we're not eating as well as we should, we're not losing that weight, or we're not hitting our kind of squats or our bench presses, we're not running the Ks that we want to do, but we're ticking off that third goal, our motivation, or our intrinsic motivation, is actually saying, okay, well, I'm still ticking off that third goal, it's still pottering along nicely, and 9 times out of 10 the second week you'll tick off the top 2 as well, and they'll becoming nice and easy. So setting 3 goals is a very, very good starting point, and making sure that they're kind of that macro, that micro, and a completely different goal for the third one is the second point. But how do we go along of remembering these goals, and how do we go along of making sure that we're staying on track 7 days a week? And for me, the number one that I've used, and the number one successful tool that I've used, is writing things down. Okay, this may be a little bit weird for some people, and this may be a little bit hard for some people because they might be a very kind of shy person and they don't like putting ideas down that other people can see, but this is the motivation. The more people that can see your goals, the better, because the more people that you tell, the more people that will kind of keep you accountable in the long run. For instance, if I tell 5 people that I'm friends with, and then I see 9 times out of the 10 throughout the day, or 90% out of the day, they will most likely say something that will make me achieve my goals even more. So they'll say, oh, have you gone for a run today? Have you ticked off that goal? Have you done this? 9 times out of 10, your friends will actually want to help you achieve your goals, because that will make you a more enjoyable person to be around. And also, the more people you can tell, the more people that will help you accountable. So if you're writing your goals down, make sure you stick them in common areas such as kitchens, bedrooms, bathrooms, mirrors. Mirrors are a really great thing. So the bathroom mirror, the mirror that you look in before when you're doing your hair or something like that, a mirror in your room. So just to recap, so you've written your goals down, you've made 3, 2 that are macro and micro, and 1 that's completely irrelevant, making sure that it's specific, measurable, achievable, relatable, and time specific, and then making sure you're telling as many people as you can about them, writing them down absolutely everywhere around your house. Another good idea as well, before I forget, is writing them on a whiteboard, and sticking that whiteboard in your room or your office or anywhere you can, because again, you're seeing that before you're going to bed, you're seeing that as you wake up. Again, you're intrinsically motivating yourself, so you're making sure that your motivation levels are very, very high. But my last point before I finish this video off is you've got to realize that 9 times out of 10, when you make these goals, you're going to have those, you're going to hit that wall, you're going to hit that kind of barrier, you're going to have that one person that says you can't do it, and that might just kind of demotivate you or put you in a state where you're not going to have the best mental state, or you don't think you're going to be able to do it. And you've got to have that motivation internally and say, yes, I'm going to achieve it regardless of what anyone else says, because at the end of the day you have to be happy with yourself, and you have to be happy in your own kind of shoes, that no matter what anyone else says, you can achieve your goals. So realize that when you're making your goals, that 80% of the battle is going to be those intrinsic motivation, or that intrinsic kind of internal battle with yourself. But don't let anyone else come in and burst your bubble, because you've made the effort to make these goals. It would be a sad sight to see people or see yourself not achieve those goals. So when you've written them down, or when you've made these plans, or you've stuck all these sticky notes around your house, or you put it on the whiteboard, don't let people come in and say, oh, that's weird, or that's not the right way of doing it. Realize that you've made the connection, so you are 90% there. The 10% battle that you're about to face is with yourself, and that's the biggest battle. So when you've achieved that, you've achieved your goals, you will see the results, and you will get that body you've always wanted, you will run that marathon you've always wanted, and you will bench press and squat those weights you've always wanted. So if you've liked the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment down below how you found it, and anything else you want to see in these videos I will be happy to make. But yeah, of course, I'll see you guys in the next one.